Yesterday, barely 13 months after Obamacare passed the Senate, and less than 1 year since it became law, the entire scheme was struck down in federal court. In a triumph for both personal liberty and the American Constitution, the individual mandate was found unconstitutional and Obamacare was struck down. Not part of Obamacare, all of Obamacare. Not surprisingly, the administration and its special interest allies responded with the same derision toward ordinary American citizens that has been on display throughout the debate. Instead of acknowledging the obvious, that Obamacare represents a massive departure from any traditional understanding of limited government, White House officials went on the attack, calling the decision outside of the mainstream and ridiculing its reasoning. Why? Really? Millions and millions of Americans believe the provisions essential to the operation of Obamacare are unconstitutional intrusions on personal liberty that vastly expand the power of the federal government. They understand that the justification for the individual mandate by Obamacare's proponents essentially removes any limits on the power of the federal government to regulate personal and economic decisions. 26 states participated in this challenge to Obamacare. 32 members of this body, including myself, signed an amicus brief challenging the constitutionality of Obamacare. But according to the administration's narrative, we are the ones who are out of the mainstream. The administration came into office buoyed by the goodwill of the American people and carrying banners of bipartisanship. 2 years later, after the politically disastrous decision to overhaul 1/7 of the nation's economy with virtually no Republican support, they are blaming the victim. After a federal judge took on this tough issue, or looked at this tough issue, and determined that key elements of Obamacare represented an unprecedented and unconstitutional expansion of the national government, the problem remains, as it always is for liberals, the people. Their views are not just sophisticated enough to grasp Obamacare's consistency with a government of limited and enumerated powers. The Democrats continue to think that if only they focus group Obamacare better, they will get the messaging right. The American people will learn to love it. I don't think so. The American people get it. They know, and I know my constituents in Utah do.